Hi, I'm Paris, and from the first time I saw the Kindle Oasis e-reader, the first time I held one at the Amazon store, I wanted one so badly, but I couldn't justify $250 for this while I still had a perfectly serviceable Kindle Paperwhite from a few years back. But events conspired so that I was going to need a Kindle where I could actually push the buttons to turn the pages. With the standard Kindle, you've got to be able to swipe it, and I wasn't going to be able to. So the Oasis, having physical buttons that you can push to change pages, as well as being able to swipe or tap, this was the solution I needed. Also, Amazon occasionally has really good sales on their Kindle devices. Of course, they'd like you to buy the Kindle device, so you'll go on to buy the Kindle books. They can make some more money. Normally, this sells for $249. I was able to get it on Amazon Prime Day for $75 off, so $175. Still pricey, but it was a price I could bear. They also had it, I think, for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, similar price reduction. If you want that really good price, you might have to wait, but know that that price will come your way if you're willing to wait. So what's the big difference between one e-reader and another e-reader? There's a big difference. This is such a pleasure to read on. And though this was nice, it helped me out lots of times when I didn't want to bring several heavy paperback books with me. This standard Kindle Paperwhite was always frustratingly slow to do anything on. Also, you can sort of see here that the screen size is larger on the Oasis, and because it's so sharp and they have so many LEDs to make the lighting so good, I can actually read with a smaller font here than I could here. So I not only have basically a bigger page to read on, the text is smaller, so it's much more like reading a book. With the standard Kindle Paperwhite, in order to have it large enough for me to be able to read it without wearing glasses, some study was done that showed there's an ideal number of words per line when you're reading that lets it just flow the most smoothly. And these sentences, well, these lines are just a little short, whereas on the Kindle Oasis, it flows so nicely. Aside from that, there's the weight. This does weigh a little bit less than this one, but more importantly, the ergonomics of how you hold it. Can you lie down on your back, hold it over your head and read comfortably? With this one, my arms were always sore. I was also afraid I was going to drop it on my face. Whereas with this one, it's like it's just perfectly designed to fit in your hand. You feel comfortable holding it and you don't worry you're going to drop it on your head. I have it out of the case here to show you. On the back, it isn't flat across. This section is larger. So when you hold it, it just naturally fits like the spine of a book where you're holding it. And another cool thing, depending on if you're left-handed or right-handed, you can flip it over. It flips over. Now you can read just as easily with the other hand. The Kindle Paperwhite was a big step up from my original Kindle reader, though back then it did have the physical buttons. This one won't even work anymore because the software is so out of date. But they went from a large rectangle, which was hard to hold on to a smaller rectangle, which was an improvement, and they put in the backlighting, which was a big improvement. But holding on to a generic rectangle compared to holding something that's ergonomically designed to fit your hands perfectly, this is as much of a big step up over this one as this was over my original Kindle. My older Kindle Paperwhite had the adjustable brightness. Bring it all the way down, all the way up. But what it was lacking that the Oasis has is warmth. You can add yellow to it so that it's not as straining on the eyes if you're reading in a very dark place, or if it's outside and you need more brightness, take the warmth all the way down and you get that bluish white, really bright light. Of course, you can also adjust the brightness as well. And you see how fast it responds as I make these changes. There's a faster processor in the Oasis. So when you have a screen full of things, you slide up. It's not as smooth as if you were doing it on your phone or on your computer, but compared to the Paperwhite, everything you ask it to do, it has to think about it a little before it does it. So let's go back here. Let's open it up. Okay, on the Oasis, slide around a little. Oh, come back to the home page. Open it up. Much more like that. Not really like that, but a lot closer to that than the original Paperwhite. Looking at graphics, neither is great. I've yet to find an e-reader that really does a good job with photographs or graphics. But because the Oasis has the larger screen, you have a better chance of being able to see what's there than on the smaller screen of the Paperwhite. Amazon also makes a wonderful case for the Oasis that has that same indentation right along here that makes it so natural to hold. The downsides of the Oasis, because yes, there are some other than the price. The main one is that speediness you get when you're changing through things. That faster processor uses more power. Now they might have put a slightly larger battery in this, but my experience with a new Oasis and a year's old Paperwhite is that the battery of this does not match that in the Paperwhite. I'll still get 10 days, 2 weeks of reading every day with this. But with the Paperwhite, I was used to this battery lasting a month. And the other downside related to money is I've spent a lot more money on books since I've gotten this because it's so much more enjoyable to read. Guess that's not exactly a downside, but when you enjoy reading as much as you will on this, plan to spend more money on books. Now, I did a separate video review comparing my original Kindle Paperwhite to my daughter's latest version Kindle Paperwhite, and I'll link to that at the end of this video if you're still thinking the Paperwhite is more in your price range. But if I've enticed you to learn more about the Kindle Oasis, you can find out more about it at the link down below this video, whether it's a gift for yourself or a Christmas gift or gift for someone else. If they like reading, if they're already in the Kindle ecosystem, which means all their books will easily transfer over, the Oasis is a much appreciated gift. I'll see you on the next review.
There are so many choices and you don't want to stress. You want your health food at home, receiving only the best. That's what we're here for. We give honest reviews. parristx.